Welcome to 1111, which is a segment from my podcast where I talk about a topic for 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Today's topic is actually labels because, June. So, first of all, time out though. I'm watching, sorry, I'm watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK season 2. Okay, I'm sorry, but season 2 is like one of the best seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, I'm sorry, call me crazy, but it's one of like my all-time favorite seasons. I already know who wins, obviously, because this was released like 2 years ago. But um, I was I'm low-key rooting for Ahura. Anyways, um, labels. Okay, so I grew up in this really like religious bubble that the only label that I knew was gay because in you know, in the Bible and in religion, um, they really only attack gay people. But for me, I always, they always talk about man on man. They never talk about lesbians. They never talk about, trans people. They never talk about bisexuals. They never talk about anybody else but just gay man on man. Like literally they'll be like man on man. So I never grew up with any knowledge of any other different type of label, you know what I mean? Until I was like 12, 13, when I started like what is this? So I was just like, okay, what is going on? I remember like the first time in middle school that I saw a girl and a girl kiss. I was like T. I was just like, but I was like, I need to be her friend. And she had long hair. She had like a ponytail. Um, and she was dating like there were two Latinas and they were like so beautiful, and they were kissing. And I was like, that was like the first time ever. It was middle school. I was like 12. I was young. Okay, I was young. I was a young boy. And then there were two bisexual boys in my class. But when boys are bisexual, it's really, 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 really like looked down upon. Like I feel like back in middle school, girls who were bisexual, it was celebrated. They were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But when boys were bisexual, they would get like hate crimed. They would get like bullied. So I'm like, okay, this is a very double standard because obviously, the straight men fetish. You know where I'm going. So I always grew up with the idea that labels were kind of made by straight men to box people, to box us, to box our community. And so I never really liked labels. I was just very not like a label person, I like what I like, especially because I feel like whatever you identify is, at least for me, or a lot of people I feel can relate as well, it ties with a lot of trauma. And I think it takes a lot of healing and a lot of evolving and a lot of like, you know, growing to realize to not tie your trauma with your label. And for me, I'm just queer. I'm a little different. I'm a little, like I'm like, you know, so I don't get offended obviously when people assume my label because I'm like I really couldn't care less, but I also feel like there's this form of healing that I have to do in order to be proud of my label. But I do feel like labels allow community, and I'm learning that no, this is the we have to retake this. You know what I mean? It's like with everything, we have to retake what people used to offend us and create. Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm sorry. And we have to create a community, and we have to be proud, and that's what pride is. But I feel like for me, I really don't like how a lot of people just use that to box other people, and at least for me, like I feel like as we get older and we evolve, like we're gonna fall in love with so many different people. And granted, we might, fall in love with people who we same sex, whatever it is, but you know, love is love. And like you can't I feel like if you box yourself in, you're never gonna be open to the idea of like falling in love with a different type of person. And I think it's, I don't know. I just like to be very open, but I know that in the back of my head I'm attracted to the same sex. But I I feel like I don't want to give the pleasure or like the satisfaction to straight men and boxing me in. So I love to give that like little like, no, I'm not even gonna say gender bender because I'm not a gender bender. Like like I don't think I'm a gender bender at all. But to the people, my fellow gender benders, like I love you. Like you are my absolutely favorite type of person ever. Like people who just mind screw, straight people's mind. Oh, I love it. Like when people cannot tell what gender you are, I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like I love that. Like I don't know, I just love that. Like I just love confusing the like straight, very like black and white man, because not black and white, not white and black. No, like, very like one plus like very like basic black and white man. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Don't try to get cute. And so I love confusing people with whatever you're doing. And in a way, I do feel like I sometimes can confuse men in the gym. For me, I've like confused men in the gym because I'll be like, like just working out. Break Free by Arianki will be blasting through the AirPods. This is the part when, like, girl, and I've literally seen them get like, they'll get like so, I just love that. But I feel like labels are we gonna say they're outdated? Because in all reality, like, you just love who you love. You really do. Like, who cares? In all reality, like I don't really care, what you identify as, because at the end of the day, this was all just man-made. We were all just meant to just love who we love, and it was never meant to be a whole like fighting for our life, like it was never meant to be this way, and men created this. So I'm like, okay, let's step back. I feel like you know, if we don't allow for pride and allow this, like, all of these, like, labels and, like, all these things, if we don't, like, make the straight men and, like, everyone around us, like, be like, we're here, and visibility, I guess, if we don't make ourselves visible, like, we have to make ourselves visible because we're here and we're gonna stay. But I wish to get to a day when we kind of like, whenever I have kids, I wish they just don't come out to me because, one, I really don't care who you're having sex with. Two, I straight people don't come out. Straight people, when straight people are growing up, they're not labeled as straight. Like, teachers aren't, walking around being like, oh, that's the straight kid. Oh, him? Timmy? Oh, Timmy is straight. So I'm like, okay, will we ever live in a society where, like, we're not labeled, where, like, labels are just gone, and we're just humans, and we just love what we love, and we're actually just, respected, and our rights are our rights, just as any other human being? But on the other hand, we wouldn't have the community. We wouldn't have, like, pride. We wouldn't have, I'm happy to be from the alphabet community. I love the alpha, like, twins. Like, I love it. But I think it's because of how we were raised and how we grew up and the society that we grew up in. We learned to love this because this is, like, our chosen family, this, and that, and the third. But in 20 years, I want to be in a world where, like, whoever you screw does not matter. Whoever you love, it does not matter. We're just humans. Oh, what are they? They're humans. Don't worry about what they identify as. Like, that's the thing for me too. It's like when, like, my relatives, they ask, like, oh, you, like, what are you? I'm like, Tia, I'm literally humano. Like, yo soy humano. Like, I'm human. Like, I love who I love. Like, why do you care? Like, why do you, like, the thing for me is I love labels between us, like between us girlies, like between us, like yes, like like the theys and the them, like like I love not, you know what I mean, like gays, you know what I mean. But like when straight people want to act, like why do you want to hop in the bed with me? Why do you care? What? Tell me why you care. So it's kind of like, okay, so how did we get here? And I feel like it all ties back to men trying to like make it to a control, make it a control and box us in. So I'm like, just love who you love. But also have your identity and make yourself visible. Yeah, yeah, I'm a fag. Just like make yourself visible. But I want to be in a world where like it does not matter. It does not matter who you love. It does not matter like whatever. Like not. It does matter who you love because some people will. Our alphabet community will fall in love with like the most toxic men ever, and they're usually DLs. What is that, dog? Anyways, that's. I feel like I should make this a part two. Anyways, love you, buddy. Yeah. Just. And sorry, love you. Bye.